Hello, Poppy. Hello, Poppy.
We left you last week as we arrived at this great harvest host on a cattle farm. These guys were very pleased to see us. We're Sarah and Ben, and we're exploring Canada in our self-built camper van. Welcome back to Diamonds on Tour.
Always fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, you just got to love a waterfall.
I know. Definitely good for the soul.
The power of nature, isn't it?
Yes, it's amazing.
It's not a dam, it's definitely...
Wow. Oh, it's a rainbow, look.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Nice bird.
Like a moor. Oh no, it might have been just a pigeon. I don't know. Nice view down there. Look at that! Oh, that's lovely. Oh, wow. Getting wet? Huh? Wow. That's beauty, isn't it?
I feel sorry for the fish that go over it.
And there will be.
Yeah.
They might just do it for the buzz.
Yeah.
Mind you, once they're committed, they've got to go.
Oh, there's no going back.
No
from
going
that,
back, no. There's no getting back either.
No.
So, yeah.
That's very reasonable to visit this. It cost us $6 for a 2-hour parking pass.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say it's the first parking we've actually paid for.
It is, yeah, first attraction we've paid to visit.
So I think now we're going to find all the attractions are going to charge.
But still, $6 is only just over £3.
Yeah.
So very, very good value.
Yeah.
Certainly a place to put on your stop-off list when you're heading west across Canada.
Definitely.
Well, we're still in Ontario, heading west. We've just left the Thunder Bay area, so we've kind of left the Great Lakes behind us now. And we were just a little comment on the sheer size of Canada. So Sarah said last night, we must be nearly at Calgary, aren't we? So I had a look on the map, worked it out. Turns out we were 1,250 miles away still, and still 2 time zones away. That puts things in perspective when you measure your distance by time zones.
Yeah. But we are we think we're not too far away from crossing one of those time zones, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, yeah, we'll be crossing into the next zone.
And when you say time zones, because we had just half an hour difference when we're in Newfoundland, but this is an hour's difference each time, is it?
Yes. filled up with fuel. So we've got a full tank of diesel, and that's the best fuel station in the entirety of Canada. It's got a Punjabi restaurant in it. So we've got ourselves some beautiful looking pakoras and some samosas and some pots of tamarind sauce, and we're going to have ourselves a magnificent lunch. So we're just going to carry on for a few more miles and find somewhere to pull over and eat our delicious Punjabi lunch.
Ourselves on another little trail. I'm doing a bit of a hike, tiny little hike really, but very nice. Where we've parked up, there's a map, and it's probably got about 10 different hikes that you can do from where we've parked, but they all look super, and there's water involved. There are 2 lakes, so yeah, we'll see what we can find. Ben's hoping to find a bear. I'm not. We did actually this time. I made him bring the bear spray because there's no point buying it. There it is. No point buying it and then leaving it in the van. So there we are, we've got it, and hopefully we'll never use it. But if you don't have it, you'll need it, won't you? So that's the way it goes.
This sign was at the trailhead for this short hike. We couldn't agree more.
And here's the lake. Very nice. Lots and lots of flying insects. Not too sure what type of flying insect, but you best keep your mouth shut. Welcome everybody to Manitoba, and we're clearly in Manitoba now, and just to let you know that we've now done over on this trip, over 6,000 miles. So yeah, it's quite a lot really, isn't it?
Manitoba is actually the 7th province that we've been in on this trip. So we're ticking them off at a good old rate. And also I've noticed that the speed limit on this road is now 100 kilometers an hour. Throughout the whole of Ontario it was 90. It doesn't make any difference to us because we don't do that speed anyway. But there you go. So if you're traveling in a car and that makes a difference to you, you'll be able to make a little bit more progress in Manitoba. Well, after 6,048 miles driving and 10 weeks, we've now reached the centre of Canada. Special treat for me today.
Yeah.
I'll get to have to be driven.
Not for long.
Well, I'm thinking we've got 379 kilometres to go, so
Might do this
I'll
79.
I'll do the last 20. Let's see how we get on. Continuing the drive west, we stayed at a harvest house last night that was very, very lovely, and now we've got 500 kilometres towards Moose Jaw, where we're staying tonight. This is Manitoba, and it was billed as a very, very flat plains, but actually this part isn't that flat. I think it's just sort of rolling countryside at the moment. I think the really flat bit's still to come. Anything you'd like to add, Sarah?
Our stay at the harvest house last night was quiet, and we slept really, really well. So that was thank you for that one too. The brewery,
Farmery.
Thank you, Farmery Estate Brewery. Is that right?
Yep.
Very good. And interestingly, we discovered that in 2013. They appeared on the Canada's version of Dragon's Den, and they actually were awarded, I think it was $200,000 by Two Dragons who invested in their business. So that's quite interesting. So we had a nice couple of beers in there, and then stayed the night on their property, which is good.
The route from Nipawa, where we were last night, down towards the Trans-Canada Highway and onwards west, one of the snags of using the sat-nav is that you choose the shortest route, which sometimes takes you off the tarmac highway, and this is an example of that. So these gravel roads are actually pretty good. In some cases they're better than potholed tarmac.
Yeah.
But you do get this sort of constant shaking, and just sort of take the speed down a bit. I think really what I should be doing is lowering the tyre pressure, but when it's only a 10k section, to then have to pump all the tyres back up again would be far too much of hassle.
Yeah.
But it's good preparation for the Dempster, which will be on in a few weeks' time, which I think is going to be probably 400 miles of this.
And I've just done 10k on it, driving. So I've had my practice now. That's
right.
Fine. Don't need any more.
Yeah, right.
We're now in the province of
Saskatchewan.
Welcome everybody to Saskatchewan.
So thank you, Manitoba.
Yes.
You were lovely. You were much, much narrower than Ontario.
Yeah, you were.
So really just a few hours to get across Manitoba.
Yes.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Lovely to see that different topography.
So let's see what Saskatchewan has to offer then, eh, Ben?
Yeah, let's see. And one more time zone.
Yes.
So we just put our clocks back by another hour.
My watch though needs to be put back now by 2 hours because it hasn't been done.
Yeah.
It wasn't done in Manitoba and wherever it went.
Plains right here in the middle of Canada. This is Saskatchewan. What a beautiful sight that is. That's highway number 1 just behind us, and a very, very straight road. They're all straight round here. Let's look how flat that land is. We spoke to somebody a couple of weeks ago who said if you're out here and your dog goes missing, you can watch them running away for weeks. I can see why they'd say that. Do you remember about this time last year we were in Sweden and Norway, and we saw a magnificent great big moose at the side of the road, stainless steel, beautiful sculpture. Now there is a story. Here is Mac the moose, who is here in Canada at Moose Jaw. Now the one in Sweden, when he was built, was taller than this one, so he claimed the prize as the world's tallest statue of a moose, but they weren't very impressed with that here, so they actually removed his antlers and fitted newer, bigger antlers to make him just that little bit taller. And apparently they've since declared a moose truce, and they're just quite happy and friendly about it now. And Mac the moose here is now officially again the world's tallest sculpture of a moose. And his old antlers are actually on the ground just here to provide some evidence that he was once a little bit smaller. The snowbirds are Canada's version of the Red Arrows display team, and they're also based here at Moose Jaw at the local Royal Canadian Air Force Base. This is Old Wives Lake. It's in south central Saskatchewan, and it's a saltwater lake, an inland saltwater lake, and it's green. Apparently from space it's green. So it's an important site for migrating birds. Hopefully some of those birds we can see out there are of some sort of interest. I'll get the long lens out in a moment and we'll have a look. But it is quite the wilderness out here. It feels like we're in the middle of nowhere. We've driven down long gravel roads to get here. Well, that's it for this week. You won't want to miss our next exciting episode when we meet some of these guys here at Grasslands National Park. See you next week.